Welcome back to Mark's History Channel. Imagine surviving years of brutal war, conquering vast territories, becoming the most powerful man in the Roman world, only to be murdered by your closest friends. Imagine walking into a meeting surrounded by men you trusted. Then imagine seeing knives drawn from beneath their robes. On the morning of March 15th, 44 BC, Julius Caesar entered the Roman Senate as the most powerful man in Rome. Before the day was over, he would be dead. His assassination would become one of the most famous political murders in human history, inspiring books, plays, movies, and endless debate for more than 2,000 years. But why was Caesar killed? Who planned it? And did the conspirators actually save the Roman Republic or destroy it forever? This is the story of Julius Caesar's assassination. To understand why Caesar was murdered, you first need to understand the Rome he lived in. For centuries, Rome had been a republic. Power was shared between elected officials, powerful senators, and various political institutions. Romans were proud that they had no king. In fact, they hated the very idea of kingship. The last Roman king had been overthrown centuries earlier, and ever since then the word king carried the smell of tyranny. But by the 1st century BC, the Republic was struggling. Rome had grown into a massive empire stretching across the Mediterranean. Wealth flowed into the city, so did corruption. Political violence became common. Ambitious generals began using their armies to gain power. Among those ambitious men was Julius Caesar. Born into a noble family in 100 BC, Caesar was intelligent, charismatic, and incredibly ambitious. He quickly rose through Roman politics. He won supporters among ordinary citizens. He made powerful allies, and he gained enemies just as quickly. Everything changed when Caesar received command of Roman armies in Gaul, a region that includes much of modern France and Belgium. For nearly a decade, he fought campaign after campaign. His victories made him a hero. His soldiers became fiercely loyal to him. His fame spread across the Roman world. But success created fear. Many senators worried that Caesar had become too powerful. Among them was another famous Roman leader, Pompey the Great. Once allies, Caesar and Pompey eventually became rivals. Tensions grew. Political battles intensified. Then came the moment that changed everything. In 49 BC, Caesar stood beside a small river called the Rubicon. Roman law forbade generals from bringing armies into Italy. Crossing the river with troops would mean rebellion. Caesar knew exactly what he was doing. According to tradition, he declared the die is cast. Then he crossed. Civil war erupted. Caesar's forces defeated Pompey and his supporters. One by one, his enemies fell. By 46 BC, Caesar stood victorious. No rival could challenge him, no army could oppose him, no politician could stop him. Rome had never seen anything quite like it. Caesar introduced reforms across the Republic. He reorganized government. He reduced debt. He expanded citizenship. He improved administration throughout the empire. Many ordinary Romans loved him, but many senators were terrified. The reason was simple. The more power Caesar gained, the less power they had. Their fears intensified in early 44 BC. The Senate granted Caesar the title Dictator Perpetuo, dictator for life. To his supporters, it was recognition of his achievements. To his critics, it sounded dangerously close to monarchy. Rumors spread through Rome. Was Caesar planning to become king? Would the Republic survive? Or was Rome witnessing the birth of a dictatorship? A group of senators decided they could not wait to find out. Among them was Gaius Cassius Longinus. Cassius had fought against Caesar during the Civil War. Although pardoned, he remained deeply suspicious of Caesar's ambitions. Cassius began quietly speaking with other senators. He found many who shared his concerns. Soon a conspiracy began to form. The conspirators needed a respected figure to lead them. They found one in Marcus Junius Brutus. Brutus presented a problem. He had actually benefited from Caesar's generosity. Caesar had forgiven him after the Civil War. Many people even believed Caesar viewed him almost like a son. Yet Brutus was also devoted to the ideals of the Republic. His family history carried enormous symbolic weight. One of his ancestors had helped overthrow Rome's last king centuries earlier. Eventually, Brutus joined the conspiracy. His decision transformed the plot. More senators joined. The number eventually grew to around 60 men. Their plan was simple: kill Caesar before he became unstoppable. The conspirators chose March 15th, known as the Ides of March. A Senate meeting would take place at the theater of Pompey. Caesar would arrive unarmed. The senators would surround him. Then they would strike. As the date approached, strange stories began circulating. Ancient sources describe omens, warnings, and unsettling dreams. One famous account claims a soothsayer warned Caesar to beware the Ides of March. Another says his wife Calpurnia dreamed of his death and begged him not to leave home. Whether every detail is true remains uncertain. Ancient historians often blended fact with dramatic storytelling. But there is little doubt that concerns and rumors existed. On the morning of March 15th, Caesar hesitated. For a time, he reportedly considered staying home. The conspirators grew nervous. If he failed to appear, their opportunity might vanish forever. Eventually, Caesar changed his mind. He left for the Senate meeting. The decision sealed his fate. As Caesar entered the meeting hall, senators gathered around him. Everything appeared normal. Then one conspirator approached with a petition. As Caesar turned, another grabbed his toga. It was the signal. The attack began. The first blow struck but caused only a minor wound. Chaos erupted instantly. Knives flashed. Senators lunged forward. Some attackers accidentally stabbed each other in the confusion. Caesar fought back briefly. Then he saw familiar faces among the attackers. Men he knew, men he trusted, men he had forgiven. Ancient accounts differ on his final words. One famous tradition claims he said, "Et tu, Brute," meaning, "and you, Brutus." The phrase became immortal through William Shakespeare centuries later. Modern historians are less certain those exact words were spoken. What is certain is that Brutus participated in the attack. That fact alone shocked Rome. Within moments, Caesar collapsed near the base of a statue of Pompey. The irony was impossible to miss. The conqueror of Pompey's faction died beneath a monument to his former rival. Caesar suffered 23 stab wounds. Only one appears to have been fatal. But together they ended the life of Rome's most powerful man. The conspirators expected celebration. They believed Romans would praise them as defenders of liberty. Instead, confusion spread across the city. Fear replaced triumph. Citizens fled. Shops closed. Nobody knew what would happen next. The conspirators soon realized they had made a critical mistake. They had killed Caesar. But they had no plan for what came after. Meanwhile, Caesar's supporters moved quickly. Among them was Mark Antony. A skilled politician and loyal ally, Antony seized the initiative. Then came Caesar's funeral. It would become one of the most important turning points in Roman history. When Antony addressed the crowd, emotions exploded. He displayed Caesar's blood-stained clothing. He reminded citizens of Caesar's achievements. He read portions of Caesar's will. The public mood transformed. Anger erupted against the assassins. Crowds rioted. The conspirators fled Rome. The republic they hoped to save was slipping away. Events moved rapidly. Caesar's adopted heir Octavian entered the political stage. Though young and inexperienced, he proved remarkably capable. A struggle for power followed. Civil wars returned. Armies marched. Alliances formed and collapsed. One by one, Caesar's assassins met their end. Brutus and Cassius eventually faced the forces of Antony and Octavian at the Battle of Philippi in 42 BC. Defeated, both took their own lives. The conspiracy had failed, yet the consequences continued. Years later, Octavian defeated Antony and became Rome's undisputed ruler. He took the title Augustus. The Roman Republic effectively ended. The Roman Empire began. Ironically, the men who killed Caesar to prevent one-man rule helped create an even more powerful system. Their actions accelerated the very future they hoped to avoid. More than 2,000 years later, historians still debate their motives. Were they heroes defending liberty? Were they jealous aristocrats protecting their privileges? Or were they simply men trapped by circumstances larger than themselves? The answer may be a mixture of all three. What remains undeniable is the impact of their decision. A handful of senators changed the course of world history in a single afternoon. The fall of Caesar reshaped Rome. The rise of Augustus transformed an empire. And the echoes of the Ides of March still resonate today. Because Julius Caesar did survive years of brutal war, conquer vast territories, and become the most powerful man in Rome. But in the end, the greatest threat he faced was not an enemy army. It was the men standing beside him. Thanks for watching Mark's History channel. If you enjoyed this story, leave a like, subscribe, and join us for more fascinating journeys into the events that changed history forever.